Yes, please.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome you to the 8th day of 21-day training program. And today we have 3 lectures as per schedule. In the morning, we have a lecture on preservation. It will be delivered by Dr. Sadhna ma'am. And after this lecture, the second lecture is on grow more, grow use. It is a wood about the wood utilization. It will be delivered by Dr. Manoj Dubey sir. And at the evening, the lecture is on wood seasoning by Dr. Shalen sir. So let's start with the first lecture. It is on wood preservation. The resource person, Dr. Sadhna Tripathi ma'am, has already joined us. And on behalf of the organizing committee and my own behalf, I welcome you, ma'am, to the 21-day training course program, that is a forest management for sustainable use of natural resources. To brief you, ma'am, this is a 21-day training program, and it is exclusively for the forestry background people. All the participants are assistant professor rank or equivalent to that. Maybe they some are the scientists also attending this program, and from the different universities of all over the India. So let me have this opportunity to introduce you as well to the participant. Dr. Sadhna Tripathi ma'am is a scientist G in wood preservation discipline at Forest Product Division of Forest Research Institute, Dehradun. She has a 38 years of professional experience in teaching, research, and extension. Her milestone achievements are technology development to improve the durability of non-durable tree species, develop several preservative and treatment methods, value addition to imported timbers for different end users in different climatic zones. She has developed the value-added products of bamboo for livelihood support of low-income groups, and she has also established a common facility center for bamboo at FRI Dehradun. She has been awarded with several fellowships like CSIR Fellowship in 2002 by ICMR, SK SED Prize in 2012 for value addition and contribution in the field of forestry. So she is an editor and secretary of Journal of Timber Development Association India, and she is a member of Indian Forestry Journal published from the FRI Dehradun. She is a visitor nominee in Delhi University and many other national reputed institutions. So far, she has supervised 10 PhD students, several master theses, and she has published more than 140 research publications in various national and international journals. She has 2 patents in her name. So, with this brief biodata, I would like to invite her to please, ma'am, you start your presentation. We are, looking forward to hear from you and gain from you. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Nasir, for nice introduction, and good morning to all participants. And today I'll be talking about the wood preservation to improve the life of the wood material, that is the bamboo and wood, both. So I hope that all of the participants are of forestry origin. They must be having the knowledge of the lignocellulosic material and its non-durable character. So we'll be just talking about the what is the use of the preservation, what is preservation in fact, how to do it, and how important it is, and how many sort of Bureau of Indian Standards are right now existing to educate us that how to deal with the timber. So that is all about this topic. So let us have the first slide. First of all, I would like to introduce the Forest Products Division of FRI. In fact, it's always good to introduce your department because sometimes you are not aware of the department, and since you know that Forest Research Institute is quite an old premier organization of forestry, We have many departments here, but in fact, the forest products division consists of timber mechanics, seasoning, preservation, composite, engineering, and woodworking and finishing. And recently, we have the cellulose and paper department also. So you can see on the board that it has started since 1906, and FRI itself came into existence in 1923 and 29. So quite it was a sort of period that 1907 the work was started, but later on the FRI was established. So it's like that. You can now you can now just imagine that how old is the department. And since you are all from the forestry background, you can have the idea of the what is timber mechanics. It deals with the strength properties of the timber, wood seasoning, how to season the wood, to get a little bit of durability, but more about the shape, and to prevent the defects and all. And wood preservation, how to prolong the life of the wood. Composite is how to get the byproducts or the other products, the ply industry, composite material like. And timber engineering deals with the structures and trusses design, purlins, etc. and so on. And woodworking and finishing, how to get the good finish when you have made the products. What should be the moisture, and what are the good finishes, and how long it will be there, what are the withering effects and all. It deals with the, so this is all about the department. And what is the thrust area is that basically we are focusing on the utilization of the secondary species. You know that earlier we had so many durable species, but later on, now for the last 10 to 12 years, we are now switched over to the plantation species. So these are all termed as a secondary species which have a very low durability. And we are focusing on the how to prolong the durability, and how to what is the strength property, for what product this species should go. So on that sort of major areas that we are focusing on. And the second is the improved utilization of wood through development of the composite wood. And we are also working on the alternatives of the wood, and that is how to get the composite material. Wood preservation techniques, like many old techniques are still existing, but now we are focusing on we are just switching to the new techniques also, so that we should have the option. If we are not having a big plant or vessel for the treatment, we should have another options to treat the wood. So it is like that. And techniques of the sawing, and of course the extension, which is the most important part, we are also dealing with this. And you can see that I have just shown that we are also working for the industry. Like we are working on the research and development, and besides that, we are in the teaching and education and extension also. This is a pallet industry where this is a pallet industry of the Maruti, and where they used to seal the mirrors or the glasses in the pallets. And these pallets had different sort of problems at that time when it was established. Combination of the wood was being used, so we just tried to resolve the issues, and it was successful. So that sort of consultancies are imparting in the field. We are in the sport industry also, and where the goods are being made, and they are facing problems. We are regularly in touch with the industry to resolve the issues. And this is another major industry, which is cooling tower. It deals with it is basically the used for the petroleum industry. You can see it is in the petroleum industry, refineries, coal industries. You'll have the cooling towers there. Just this is a cooling effect. It gives the cooling effect to the assembly. There's a huge consumption of the wood in the industry. It's a very, very, cumbersome sort of mechanism is there to deal with the things. And we are also imparting consultancies to very big clients like Reliance, NTPC, Birla, fertilizer company. There are so many. So we are also dealing with the type of the material which is being used. And there was a sort of problem in the industry that combination of wood was being used at that time, and a few imported timbers were also being used. So a lot of collapse was there. When the collapse is there, the production is stopped, and the huge losses are there. So we were invited for the last 6, 7, 10 years. We are being invited to the industries, and we resolve their issues, and now it is all well. So we are working now. Since you are forestry students, need not to tell that what is the structure of the wood, and it is very basic type. You can have a look. So in the center, you will have a pith, followed by the hardwood and the sap and the bark. But if we, this is a sort of a structure for those wood which have a prolonged life of plantation. Like if we go for the sal, shisham, teak, we'll have the more the hardwood, less will the sapwood. But when we go for the plantation species, more will the sapwood and the less will be the hardwood. So it clearly shows that more the sapwood, more will be the effect and less will be the durability. That is a direct correlation or the relation when we see the plantation age or the material. So first of all, we have to focus on the cross cut of the log, that what is the age of that, what is the expected age of that material. So next, this is all sapwood. Since you are all already in of the assistant professor, associate professor level, so I need not to tell you what is this. And you can have the idea of the hardwood, followed by the sapwood and the bark. Now, a little bit I would like to explain here. The more the hardwood, it is expected that more would be the durability. It is because the durability is always related with the hardwood, because all sorts of byproducts which are, or the secondary metabolites which are produced during the growth of the plant, they get accumulated in the hardwood. And most of most of the byproducts, they provide the durability to the material. Like alkaloids are there, terpenes are there, terpenoids are there. They are all phenols are there. They are all known for their durability, and they get accumulated in the hardwood. More the hardwood, more will the durability. Whereas in the sapwood, the more is the cellulose part, or the carbohydrate, or the cellulose, or the sugar containing compounds are there. So more the cellulosic part is there, more the sugar containing compounds are there, more will be the attack on the sapwood. So now whenever we are going for the preservation, we focus on the sapwood, because we assume that hardwood is already durable. But in that case also, the durability may differ. Like it may be of the durability class 1, 2, 3, or so on. You can have a Bureau of Indian Standard of 401. You'll just go through that. You'll find that different type of the durability classes are there. This durability classes is made on the durability of the hardwood only. So if the durability class 1, like for teak, shisham, sal, if it is the durability class 1, need not to worry for that, because it is already durable. What is durability is that durability we measure, like if we have the certain size of the sample of the hardwood, and we put these samples into the ground where multiple number of the biocides are degrading agencies are there, like a lot of fungus is there, a lot of termite is there, beetles are there, and all. And it's exterior open condition, and we embed this material is embedded in the soil, so that half the material is beneath the soil, half is on the upper, and we on the upper surface, and we constantly see the or observe the pattern of the infestation of the microbes on the material. And we gradually take the observation till 10 years. If it is nothing happens to that material, then it comes into durability class 1. And I'll deal further also and explain further. But the by and large, if it is not attacked for 10 years, then it is durable. You must have the idea of the hardwood, why it is hardwood, what is softwood. Here the pine all come in the softwoods. And what is natural durability? Like as the term indicates, durability is the durability of any material naturally is naturally present. How it is there? Because of the extractives. As I have told that these are the secondary metabolites which are produced in the plant, and many of them have the sort of protection power. They provide the protection power, protection to the material. So it is termed as a natural durability. It varies with the age and height, varies with the tree to tree, from tree to tree. And now this is a durability class, which I was just explaining, that if the material is durable, means if it gives a service life in the exterior ground, for 10 years or over, then it is durable. Need not to worry for that. No treatment is required. Majorly, the species are sal, teak, shisham, etc. But as we move to the lower classes like moderately durable or non-durable classes, like if we put this material in the ground and we get life between 60 to 120 months, 55 species so far evaluated, now the number have increased, then it will come into moderately durable. If it vanishes within 60 months, then it comes under non-durable. If we have the material in two classes, lower two classes, we have to do the preservation. There is no option for that. But if we have the durable species, nothing to worry. What is happening is that, like, we straightforward say that yes, this is teak, it will be durable. It is now there is a bracket also, like if you are using the indigenous teak, then it is fine. If you are getting the teak from the exterior, from the outside, like if it is imported teak, you have to be worried about the material, because we have tested many teaks from different origins of or different countries. They were all non-durable, whereas within 2-3 years everything was vanished off in the field. So it is not the name. If you are going for the material, you just try to ask, is it indigenous, is it Indian teak, then it is fine. If it is coming from Australia or some other country, you need not to, you have to see that what is the origin, what is the amount of the hardwood visually, and from which origin it is coming, because you know there is a lot of sort of confusion or the sort of business tactics in the field. People say that yes, it is teak, but if you see the color of the teak, you'll find a major difference in the color. The teak which is being imported is of white color, whereas in our country it is not white. You might have seen that, because you are forestry student, might have seen the teak. It's brown and it's yellowish brown. It's very good color, very good grains are there. Whereas in the imported timber, you won't be able to find all these qualities. So even if you are going for the imported timbers, most of the, I have tested more than 28 timbers. Now the paper is also published. Every timber was non-durable. So if you are working with the imported timbers, we have to, I would say, we have to do the preservation. But if you are going for the plantation timber, you have no option but to have to preservation. But if you are going for the indigenous material of known species like teak, shisham, sal, nothing to worry. What is preservation? Preservation is an efficient tool to prevent the biological attack on the material, on the wood. Like as I've said that we have two larger portions. Like one is sapwood, one is a hardwood. Hardwood is have the durability, different durability classes, but sapwood is always non-durable. So if the material has the larger quantity of the sapwood, you have to do the preservation. Now, sometimes the people say that how to segregate the material. The hardwood is good, and we have the 50-50 of the hardwood and the sapwood. What to do? And how to convert the material, that is a big task. You know, if you are going to convert the material as a whole and you get the planks, so what would happen that when you are going for the treatment, the hardwood you won't be able to treat, whereas you will be able to treat the sapwood. But the plant manager would ask for the whole money. For the volume he will charge like the double. You are paying for that. So you have to be little bit aware, and you should have some sort of technology, like how to segregate the material. Then you have to cut your planks in such a manner that you get the maximum quantity of the sapwood, and both the woods should be separated properly. That sort of technique need to be developed. And at your own level, you can just have an idea. Since you are from the forestry background, wood science and technology, they have a lot of knowledge in the field. So you have to cut the planks in such a manner that you segregate the sapwood and go for the treatment of the sapwood. If the hardwood is durable, then nothing to worry. If it is moderately, it will go along with the sapwood. So it is like that. It's an efficient tool to prevent the biological attack. What is preservation? In number of situations when the material finds use hazards due to biological deterioration exist, Preservation is simply a method where we incorporate some toxic material in the wood material, and it gets sort of association with the wood material. We know that the wood has a lignin and celluloses. So either it will bind with the lignin or it will bind with the celluloses. There is a less chances to bind with the lignin. So what would happen? The bonds are free in the cellulosic material. It gets bind, and more or less the preservation part deals with the metals, the elements like copper, chrome, arsenic, and all, boron. And it has a sort of binding material. It has a tendency to bind with the cellulosic part. So it is there for a longer duration. So when we what we do is that we take the material, we somehow, by some mechanism, we impregnate the material with the toxic element, and it is there. When you introduce some toxic material in any material, it will be durable. It's like that. It will provide the protection. Now, what are the basic agencies which are responsible for decay? These are biological degradation. Is white funguses are there, then insects are there. We deal with the fungus and the insects. They are the type white rot, brown rot. They are all, you have to worry for both the rotters, because they basically decay the wood. They affect the strength of the wood. Whereas the sap stain causes the stain on the wood, which deteriorates the quality of the material, looks of the material. So soft rot, again, it affects the strength. But white and brown rot are the major players which exist in the the normal environment, whereas in soft rot exists in the humid environment, basically in humid areas, or in the in the cooling towers and all. But white rot, brown rot, you can get it in your houses, you can get it in exterior conditions in your yards and all. And the termites are very, termites are very dangerous, and they are many types of the types are there. We are not focusing on that, but basically they are also responsible. First the attack takes place by the rotters. They form a spongy type of the material. After that, the termite enters into the galleries, and they consume the rest of the material. So it is all gone, and on the superficial, you won't be able to see that it is damaged. But inside, everything is gone. So that is sort of the things. And the borers you can visualize from the, it bores the material, and and forms the galleries there. And powder post beetles, it can get the powder from your furniture and all. So what happens, that is what I have seen in the literature, is that when the plant grows, when the tree grows, what happens, that the egg laying is there, and the eggs are there for many years. Even if you season your wood, it will be there. When the favorable conditions are there, they incubate, and beetles are there. So you have made a sofa, you have made a material, you have made the doors. Nothing was there superficial when you have installed the structures. But after a few years, you'll just get a knocking noise, tick, 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 you get that sort of noise from your furniture, as well as from the from the doors and windows. So what happens, that aap sochenge ki nothing was there, no borer, you can't see any borer attack on the day, but even then it is having that sort of noises, and you'll get the powder from that material. So it is like that. It was already existing there. But if you have gone for the preservation, what would happen? Since it is toxic material, it will just kill the borers there itself. So if the material has the borers and you have properly treated the material, won't be able to get any sort of defects further. Now other effects, which are physical, chemical, mechanical, and fire. We don't deal with other. I am not dealing with other one except the fire one also. So what is the reason of the deterioration? The very simple: food, shelter, and incubation for their young ones. These are the food is the basic requirement of any decaying agency. It may be fungus, it may be termite, for shelter and for incubation of the. And preservative is defined as a combination of toxic material, and when it is suitably applied in a suitable quantity In a suitable material, we get the protection. That is the simple thing. What is suitable, I would explain further. So this is a life expectancy. You can see the what is the importance. Why we should advocate that we should do the preservation? That is very simple question. That why we should invest the money. But you can now see that what is if we see the cost of the preservative, like nowadays it is a little bit higher on the higher side, but basically it is of 130 rupees, 140 rupees a kg, right? And if we are going for the treatment of the wood, what is what optimum retention, what quantity is required? Like 16 kg per cubic meter is the maximum quantity which is required for protection of wood. So now you just, or 10 kg you can, for simple calculation, you multiply 150 with the 10, that is 1,500 a cubic. So that much is the investment only. Apart from that, what is vessel for 2.5 hours you have to run. So that's all. You just have your electricity and manpower and all. So it comes around 3,000 rupees. 3,000 rupees a cubic feet. A cubic feet is a large volume of timber. So you are investing 3,000 rupees in a cubic meter material, and you are getting several fold life of that material. That is a simple calculation here. If you see that the mine has a untreated material is of 2 years of life, mine props, you might have heard about this. But if you treat the material, get the 10 years of life. Now simple, the 5 times increases there. When you are using a material in ground, open 5 years, then 25 years. So what is the advantage of the treatment is that with little investment, you are prolonging the life. And what else we are doing is that we are conserving our material, our forest. We are protecting our forest, and we are also avoiding replacement, frequent replacement, labor charges, material charges, everything. So all troublesome things are gone if you are focusing on the treatment. The only difficult thing, since for the last 20-25 years I'm working in the field, what I have felt is that people are not aware of the preservation, and few are aware also. They say that if we are seasoning the wood, if we season the wood, we will be having the protection. No, it is not like that. Seasoning is quite different than the preservation. Preservation is the inclusion or the introduction of the toxic material in the wood material to give the protection for 5 or 8 fold more as compared to the original one. Whereas the seasoning is just to, remove a particular type of the water in the vessels, okay, and which will intact the shape of this thing, and it little bit it provides for the durability also, for the sap stains also. But both are not comparable, both are entirely different. That we have to focus. Another problem we are facing is that people are not able to get the treatment plants in their nearby areas. So they are very much, worried about the things that they really want to do the preservation, but they are not able to, because in our condition, we are working on the R&D, research and development. We are not in the commercial. Of course, little bit for households and all, we are doing that. On a personal request, we do that. But large quantities from industry point of view, we are not able to do. So I would request that if some startup is there, or some, because initial investment, if you are going to install a very small plant, you will have to spend at least 8 to 10 lakhs rupees for that plant, for a small plant. So you'll be able to, but it is in demand. And I would say that if and this is the biggest hurdle that we are not able to, why we are not able to promote this field further. Fungal degradation, you might have seen that sort of stains on the material that shows that it is stained. If the material is stained, you won't be able to use this for the windows, for the furniture and all. And this is a permanent sort of stain, and it deteriorates the quality of the wood. So you won't be able to get this. It is because of the higher moisture content which is present there, and it is an indication that every condition is suitable for the attack of the other fungi also, and it will be followed by the termites. So whenever you see that, to avoid this one, the first thing is that if the material has a lot of a lot of moisture is there, simply you have a sodium pentachlorophenate, borax boric acid, 1:1:0.5. That is sodium pentachlorophenate is 0.5. One is borax, one is borax. Just make a solution in the water, spray the material, and stack it with the crosses, so that air should flow around the material, and the moisture should not be trapped within the material. That is the key of this practice. You have to material cross by using the crosses. You put the material, you spray first lot, then put the crosser, then again set the another lot, and then spray the material. The only thing is that set that sort of material, you have to keep this material, store this material in shade. Or what you another part is that you can do that, you just cover this material with the polythene, so that the rains should not be there or the water should not be there, because all the sodium pentachlorophenate, borax boric, they are all water soluble. When the rains are there or the some sort of water is there, so it will be drained off. So but I'm sure that if you spray the material with this thing and cover the material, if not less than 3 months life is there before you process it further. The favorable conditions for decay is 16 to 32 degrees centigrade, 35 to 45% moisture, supply of air and food. If these are conditions are there, certainly there will be attack. You might have seen that sort of, this is white rot fungus, cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. All are attacked. That means all the integrity of the material is lost. So white rot is very, very damaging. Whenever you see the material that it has a cottony white growth, you segregate the material immediately, because this fungus grows very fast. Similarly, you might have seen the cuboidal sort of this thing. It is brown rot, and it basically rotters primarily consume carbohydrates. So, but lignin is not much affected. But in this case, the lignin is left as such, that is the material is of brown color. So it also affects. This is soft rot. I have already told that in the cooling task, you'll be able to find that sort of decay marks on the material. So that is soft rot. It is very, very, it all, as soon as it infests the material, all the material becomes spongy, and it lost its all strength. So what is the method? First is just to keep the wood dry, coat wood like borax boric acid, sodium pentachlorophenate, poison wood, and with the natural, the artificial. So we are here, we'll discuss it further. So it starts non-felling if the fell timber is there, so non-chemical method, chemical method. There are two types of the methods are there. First is that if what happens if we cut the timber in the winter season, what would happen? May I have interaction with the audience also? You are not audible. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Are you allowing to interact in between, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Participants, please, you may ask question if you want. If you have any in between, you can interact with Sadhna ma'am, and she would be happy to reply. So be interactive, please, and open your videos, please. I request you to open your video and be interactive. Do you have any questions from from the participant side? Do you have any question? Actually, we do have, ma'am, in chat box, because we in the chat box, we have already asked to the participants that if you have any question in between the presentation, you just write it in the chat box. So I have in a personal message, I have a one question. Treatment should be done before seasoning or after seasoning? That is the first question.
And after seasoning, because the treatment should be done at 15 to 20% the moisture content.
Okay.
Maybe less than that also. 19% is the optimum moisture content which is suitable for the treatment. If the large amount of the water is there, the dilution of the material will be there. The dilution of the solvent of the solution or the chemical will be there. So you won't be able to get the the protection as it is desired. Like if you say that a 4% concentration is required and the 50% of water is there, it will be diluted further. You won't be able to get the protection. If it is 10% or the 11 or 90 or 15% is quite okay. If the 15% moisture content is there and you give the you give the treatment at the 4% or the 5%, that is enough amount will be there.
So do we have to season it again after the treatment?
No. You have to leave the material, stack the material properly with the crosses. For if you are preserving with the CCA, you'll have the material for 21 days, because it takes the time for the fixation of the material. You can not use the material immediately, and when you will stack the material for 21 days, automatically it will be dried. And in the shade you have to keep it, because in the if you are outside, you are placing the material outside, the fast drying will be there, then the fixation of the material will not be there, fixation of the chemical will not be there. So that precaution you should have to take.
Actually, I also have one question, ma'am. How do we calculate the damage in graveyard test? Suppose half of the portion, yeah, means I don't know. It is a half portion is damaged, or how much portion has been damaged in the graveyard test. So how do we calculate that damage in the happen to the wood in below the ground?
Nasir, we take the whole of the material as one. Okay, and you have the four surfaces by and large. You divide 25% each one. Okay, and there is a literature is there, and there is a paper of 61 when it was standardized and it was published. Till date, we are following the same procedure. We have the knife and sound sort of thing for measuring this thing. We see that how many surfaces are affected, how much, and it is the knife which is pricked in the material, and all over the world the same method is being followed. I have been to Germany, I have been to States also. So the same method is being followed, and it was developed, and you can have the data also here. We have published it in many publications also, the how to measure it. So you have to take the knife and just just prick that within the material, and you have to measure the how deep it is going, like on all the surface. After that, you calculate the things. If the half the material is gone, then nothing is left. It's destroyed. Like if the slight is there, the marking is there 0.5. If nothing is there, then 0. If it is a very slight VSW, then very slight fungus, very slight termite. If the very slight termite fungus is there, 0.5. If it is a very slight termite and fungus both are there, then 0.75. So that sort of
I think that experience plays major role in this calculation.
Sure.
Otherwise,
yeah, the only thing is that you have to learn the things first. You it hardly takes any time to learn the things, to learn the technique. It's very easy. The only thing is that you should have the idea what is how to prick the material and how to take the flakes. If you have pricked the material with the knife and just take out the splint, if you get the splinters, then it is damaged. It is of 2.5. The 0 is that on that scale, the 5 is the maximum, and in between it is 0.5 to 2.5. So that half of the thing has gone. So it is decayed. It comes into badly decayed category. Okay. And the next question is by Dr. Dinesh Kumar Sharma. What is the scope of biopreservatives? It's quite a good question, and in the recent scenario of the eco-friendly things. The only thing is that in biopreservatives, if you name some material, then I can further explain. If Dr. Dinesh, you kindly mention one or two so that I'll explain it further.
Dr. Dinesh. Can you hear Dr. Dinesh?
So anyway, if we take, for example, if we take
He mentioned one, ma'am. He mentioned one. Lantana extract. He said lantana extract.
yes, good. So lantana extract is good. The only thing is that we have also worked a little bit on the lantana. What is happening is that we take the different extractives. It's very time consuming. If you are making any preservative or biopreservative in water, then it is fine because water has no cost in that case. Okay, you will extract the material, but first of all, you should know that what type of the ingredient or the chemical compound is present in that extract. If you are taking the we sequentially extract the material. Like if you take the lantana extract, what would you do? You will just go first for the waxes and lipids. For that, you will have a chloroform, benzene, petroleum ether extractives. You'll get a very small amount in that. After that, gradually come to the methanol, ethanol, and then water. If you are extracting the material in the water, you are getting the extractive in the water, and further you will test it for the petri plate methods. And if
मेरे से 70 फोन आए और निकले तो पुलिस वाले घुमा दिए तो 8 किलोमीटर घूम के आए।
सही है,
ये समस्या होती है। और वो पोर्टर को शिफ्ट किए, वहाँ एमएससी वाले नाटक कर रहे हैं और वो पोर्टर कह रहा है
नहीं, वो बदतमीज है,
वो बदतमीज है।
वो अलग कर दी तब भी वो आता होगा वहाँ।
हाँ, वो
मेरे को विकास को, कौन विकास को बताया उन्होंने? क्या लिखे? विकास सर को बताया।
विकास पता नहीं सीनियर में कहा होगा एमएससी।
some unnecessary sound is there.
वो कहता है सर दीपक यादव को आप कुछ नहीं बोलते। मैंने कहा लिखित तू देगा तब मैं बोलूंगा।
मैंने भी कहा था लिख के दो,
बिना लिखे कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा मैं। और आज तो कमरा खाली करते नहीं, ताला लगा पास। आज मैंने उसको बता दिया चाहे बीसी के पास जाए चाहे किसी के पास जाए, कमरा खाली कर।
is it okay now?
Participant, please mute yourself. Okay. Whenever you have question, you want to interact with the resource person, then only you open your mic. Otherwise, keep yourself on mute. Thank you.
So if you get the lantana extract in the water, a sequential testing is there. So you may get the activity of lantana in water extract. The only thing is that how to preserve that. So the one option is that you make the material, ready material, and spray on the things. But in wood material, I'm not sure that you will be able to get the protection for longer period, because unless it binds with the wood material like celluloses, you won't be able to get the protection for a longer duration. Is it okay?
Right. One more question I think I should ask here, and then after we can move ahead. That is, what is exactly found in the indigenous stick that makes it durable? That is the question, ma'am.
Indigenous thing, what I have seen, like in neem oil. Every natural material has a different entity. Like in neem oil, hundreds of compounds are there. Okay, like sulfur.
He has asked about the teak, ma'am. I think what is exactly found in the indigenous teak?
He has asked for the lantana. He has asked.
No, actually, in the personal message, he is a DM. He has written DM. I don't know her name. His name. His question is,
in teak, it is tactoquinone which is present, and that is a ketone.
Tactoquinone. Okay.
Yeah, tactoquinone is there. It is in the literature also. And that's a ketone which provides the there are 3-4 compounds. Majorly there are 3-4 terpenes, terpenoids, alkaloids, phenols, sulfur compounds. They majorly play part in protection. Okay. So when we are going for the timber felling, we have to take care. If we can manage it in the winter season, then it is good, because all the physiological conditions or the physiological sort of what to say, jitni bhi uski physiological activities hote hain, they are at the lesser on the lower side. So it is in the dormant state, winter season, when most of the borer beetles are in the dormant or in the immature state, then you can plan felling. Debarking of logs, you have to do first debarking of logs, because bark, harbors many sort of microbes, fungi, algae, and all. So whenever there is this thing, these are the steps before going to the preservation. So first of all, you have to debark the logs. You can, if you are going for the non-chemical methods, you can put your logs in the ponds so that the free sugars are removed from the ponds and a substantial protection is provided. Then the prophylactic chemical treatment, it is with the borax boric acid and borax boric acid and sodium pentachlorophenate. Now, protection against the end cracking. You might have seen that when the logs are there, after some time there are cracks are on the ends of the logs. So what happens is that the uneven removal of the moisture is there, because from the ends it is very fast removal of the moisture is there, but from the upper surface of the log there is a slow removal of this thing. Yes, Dr. Amarjeet Singh, unmute yourself.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm Dr. Amarjeet from Sher Kashmir University of Agriculture Sciences from Kashmir.
Yeah.
I do have one question regarding the treatment of the composite woods. When we are using these sawdusts in the making of the boards nowadays, how they are treating those sawdusts and other composite woods? What is the method adopted?
Okay, that is fine. How you are treating it? Do you have the treatment?
No, ma'am, I want to know how they are treating that material.
No, they are not treating. I haven't come across any sort of thing where they are treating. They are just writing that they are treating, but they are not. But the simple thing is that you take the sawdust, you make a 4% solution of the, if a permanent sort of material is required, like if you want to use your material for more than 10 years, you can have a spray of, because they very quickly they absorb the water. So
but definitely.
Yes. So before you just spray this thing with the 4% of either CCA, that is copper chrome arsenate, or with CCB, that is copper chrome borate, or with borax boric also. Borax boric is very, very good and it is very eco-friendly also. 4% solution you make in water and spray the material, and then spread it, it will quickly dry. After that you use it. So the composite which you will make will certainly will have a longer life as compared to the untreated one.
Thank you, ma'am.
So you can see the uneven drying will result the end cracking of the logs. So prophylactic treatment I have already explained. When you have converted the material, but you are not able to use it further for processing, if the kiln is not available, or your material is not properly dried, or some sort of problem is there, you can have all these material are available in the market. You can have anyone, like this is I prefer the borax boric acid, sodium pentachlorophenate, 2.5% solution, spray it, apply the crosses, stack is there for 3 months. Need not to worry. This is called as a prophylactic. Prophylactic means initial remedial treatment. So now this is a two different type of the protection also, like short-term protection during transportation and storage, and then the long-term protection. These are the chemicals which are basically being used in the industry. One is oil type, then the organic solvent type, and the waterborne type. We'll come to the organic solvent type preservative. This is called as a creosote coal tar fuel oil. It is a byproduct of the coal industry, which is very, very cheap. It is available in Asco, Hickson, Calcutta. They are providing it in drums. Like earlier, it was 11 rupees liter. Now you can imagine now it may be 30 or 35 rupees. And the fuel oil, you can get it from the oil refineries. 50-50 solution is there. It cold and hot treatment is given to this thing. and the material is there, your wood material is there for more than 100 years, what we have seen. In FRI, we have the building of the FRI here, where the roof is made of pine shingles. And these pine shingles are, treated with the same procedure and along with the CCA. So for more than 100 years, it is there. So now you can imagine that how useful it is. It is being used for the catamarans, for the ships and all. And in the yards also you can use it. And it's very easy also. If you have this thing resort coil, and for your own purposes also, if you are making a building, you're making your house, you can have the sort of from the petrol pump, the residue is there. You take the residue, dissolve it in kerosene and just spray on the soil. And after that, you try to build the house. It's my personal experience. There will not be any termite infestation from the plinth. So that is how effective it is. It is hundreds of compounds are there. Terpenes, cresols, naphthols, and so many compounds are there. And next to the organic solvent type preservatives, these are all available in the market. The only thing is that when you have made your furniture and all, you have put all the sort of assembly there. Now, if you are treating with the water bond, what would happen? The swelling and shrinkage will be there. Then the furniture will be distorted. So in that case, if you have already made the material and you don't want to incorporate any water in the furniture, so what would you do? That you will take the organic solvent type preservatives, put it in finishes and apply it. It will give the protection, but not for a very long time. But furniture is already in the protected atmosphere. So I don't think there will be any worry for that thing. The most important is the waterborne preservative. One is the CCA, that is called as a ISQ, then CCB, then BCCA. This is all ISQ and CCB. They were all developed in FRI. In 1933, patented CCA in the FRI. Then in 1945, it was CCB. Now, in 2013, we have patented ZBOC also, which is eco-friendly. So they are all fixed type of this thing. Now the question is that they are all waterborne. They are all water soluble. But when we impregnate in the wood, so people ask that since it is water soluble, should be leached out when you put the material in the water condition. But it is not like that. When we treat the wood material with the CCA, CCB, ACC, BCCA, what happens that we leave the material for 21 days, at least for 21 days, so that it will have a sort of reaction with the OH moieties of the cellulose, and it gets fixed there. And when that sort of wood material is placed in water, even in the sea or in the oceans also, or in the rivers also, there is no leaching. 98% fixation is there, so nothing to worry about this thing. And I would suggest that if the permanent sort of for your houses, if the 100 years of life is required, you should go for SQ or the CCB or ZBOC type of the treatment. And non-fixing type are the zinc chloride, boric acid, borax. If you are going for the plywood, the composite, you can use the boric acid, borax, because it is safe also. And for the kids and all, if you for the swings and all, you can have that sort of treatment. Now, this is coal tar. I have already told. This is a byproduct of the coal industry. Fixed type, I have already explained. These are the conventional type, CCA, CCB. These are the steps: debarking, pre-drying, machining. These are the processes. Then I would go for the long-term preservation. Long-term preservation, this is debarking. Then we put the material in this thing, and different type of the machines are there for. There is a process of the hot and cold process, which will be suitable for the coal tar sort of treatments. Then the pressure treatment processes. In case of the pressure treatment process, we have different techniques. Now you can see that what we do is that we season the material, we stack properly, and this is the treatment vessels. These are the treatment, these are the tanks where the preservative is stored. What happens that we introduce the material in we close the lid, and then a small vacuum is given. On the graph, you can see a small vacuum is given. What happens that what free air is there, it will be just removed, and there is a vacuum in the cylinder. With this, the pressure is given, and with the pressure, the liquid is flooded in the vessel, and this pressure is maintained for a certain period. It depends the quantity of the pressure amount and the duration depends on the type of the material. Like what? If you take the cheed, that's it, Pinus roxburghi, or any soft species, not imported. Imported are very complicated. Indigenous soft wood, if you take, what happens that a small pressure has to be given. The maximum is 10 kg per centimeter square, and the minimum is 3. So 3 kg is enough. For half an hour, pressure is maintained. But if you have the eucalyptus, then high pressure, the vacuum, then high pressure, the pressure has to be maintained for a longer period, then leave the material in the vessel along with the preservative. So that sort of technologies you have to develop. It varies with the wood material. Easy, the wood, if in treatment, then easy method is applied. Otherwise, you have to devise the method, but the basic crux of the treatment is this: a small vacuum, then pressure, then vacuum. What happens that we have given the pressure, the material is there, vacuum was given, then flooded vessel with the preservative, then the pressure is given, and that pressure is maintained up to a certain period, then it is dropped, and a small vacuum was further given, so that rest of the liquid which is in the vessel should be drained off. After that, material is taken off and it is dried for 21 days, and the automatic fixation takes place. This is the material. If you are able to treat the material properly, you'll get complete coverage of the preservative. Even if you cut the sample, you will have the same throughout the length of the material. But if it is not properly treated and you have cut the sample, you will find this one. This is not properly treated timber. And if what happens, if you drill this timber from here and you put some screws or some sort of binding sort of a material here, what would happen? Fungus will attack from this surface only, and आपको लगेगा कि we have already treated the material, nothing to worry. But it is not like that, because surface treatment is there. The material is not completely treated. So you have to ensure whenever you are doing this thing, take a small section, treat it there, and standardize the thing. After that, you treat your whole of the material. You cut the sample after a certain period of time, leave it for 10 to 12 days, and cut the material, and then you ascertain that yes, material is treated, and now you can go ahead. If the material is untreated, what would happen? You will get this thing. You will get this thing. You can see that this material is completely treated, whereas this is untreated. So it will cause the failure of the wood in the system or any or where you have installed it. So we have to avoid this thing. Through and through treatment is required for any end use. This is a simple representation. Material is in the vessel. A small vacuum was given. Then the machine is flooded with the preservative. Then pressure is given. The material is treated for a certain period. And then a small vacuum is given, and then the material is out. So that is the simple technique. Very simple. This is the graphical representation. Now I'll just quickly go through that. What is the time? It's already 10. I'll just go how we test the wood for the termites. We treat the material, put it for 2 consequential years in the termite mounds. See that at 3%, this is for the neem. This is neem oil, 3%, 4.5, 6. It is all published. 6%. It is all material is protected, whereas this is the control. We observe these samples for 2 consecutive years. In the first year, we place it in the May, remove it in the November, study. Then in the again season, we place it in the May, remove it in the November, and we study. And if that this certain concentration is for plywood also it is there, for solid wood the same method is there, it is all published. So if the material is there and it performs like that, then only we see, then only then we say that yes, this preservative, this concentration is working on the plywood or on the solid wood. This is the material how we place, we dig it, we make the bundles of the wood material and dig the this mold, fill it with this thing, then remove these sort of, you can see that how much infestation of the termites is there, and then we get the material. It is how we do it. This is a yard test. You can see the termites infestation on half of the sample. Then these are the, we have different test yards. One is in the Dehradun, one is in Chakrata, one is in Jodhpur. So all climatic conditions are by and large are covered. And on cumulative basis, we take the observation simultaneously on 3 centers. On cumulative basis, we give the result that yes, this wood and this preservative is working. This is a yard. This is imported timber. This is chewed and poplar. You can now see the outdoor testing we have already in the standard. Earlier it was not there, not in our standard also, but we have already standardized it. Now you can see the this is imported timber. You see the infestation at the Jodhpur. How aggressive is the termite? The whole of the wood is covered with the termite soil and all. This is yellow Meranti, which is imported timber, Aishwarya group of species. And similarly, we deal with the bamboo also. I think we are short how to stack the bamboo. Then the method, quickly going for the methods. I'll just take, this is butchery, which is quite common for the green bamboos. The whole of the bamboo is attached. Then this is a treatment tank, and the small pressure is given, and it starts draining from the other end, and it takes 6 to 12 hours to treat the bamboo. You just leave the bamboo, study the how much pressure is there, and it is all. It's very, very efficient method. Then this is how it works. And another is the dipping. This is very, very efficient diffusion method is there. If you don't have any assembly, you just have the preservative, make a water solution of 4% or 6%, dip the bamboo or the wood, even wood also, for both the material it goes well. And you dip it there for 7 days. After that, you take out the material, leave it for 15 days and use it. It will be very, very efficient and very cost-effective method. We have made these assemblies here. These are the structures which were made 1957, 1967, like all. And this is a hut which we made in 2008, how we had made, how the bamboo zafri was made. And the new preservative Zebok was tested in 2008 we have made. And we have this structure is being tested since 2008. We can treat the thatch also, which is a grass with the fire retardant and the preservative, both are there. How to, we have made the floor. This soil is full of termites in FRI Dehradun, and we have made the treated material there in 2008, and still it is there. You can have a sort of, you can see the things. Here the soil we took, and we have made it water resistant with the thatch. And this is the hut which we have made in 2008. These are the other structure. This is a training where we have been green skill development program from Government of India for 2.5 months training, and they have made the structures. This is another demonstration structure where the thatch is being compared with a sheet, with a GI sheet. Some are treated, some are untreated, and this is a demonstration structure. We have a common facility center here also. It's all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. It was really very, very nice lecture, ma'am. It was not a lecture actually. It was a lifetime experience you have shared with us, and I think you all means all the participants would have been, really benefited from it. And the bamboo shed house you were discussing about has been developed in 2008. It has been developed before our eyes. I have seen that when it was getting developed there next to the preservation wood preservation lab. So actually, I just want to share one thing, that why the means you said that after the treatment, the life span, the service life of the wood increase more than 5 to 10 times. But people are still not, adopting it, and the industry is also not willing to adopt it. The reason, I think, main reason is they find this wood is still very cheaper. They think that it is better to use this wood without even, having a second thought. They find it cheaper and they use it. They don't even bother to, treat it and use it for, means, increase the service life of the wood. But they find the wood a very cheap, invaluable material. That is why they are doing so.
No, Nasir, it may be partially it is right, but the second thing is they are not knowing, they are not aware about the preservation and the treatment. They are not knowing about the benefits of the preservation. There are so many officers are here who are getting retired. Now they are knowing that this facility is there, and they are getting treated the wood from our department. They are installing it. So it's awareness lacking somewhere. So awareness is very much required, although we are conducting so many training programs, but at a very small level it is required.
Yeah, it is true. True. Awareness is, of course, not, it is there, but the expenditure you said that for the treatment, installation, we need only 10 to 15 lakh. That is not very much. It means it is a very small investment for a business. People
Yes,
do investment may 50 lakh, 60 lakh, something, for the business, but they are not doing for the 10 or 15 lakh. It is a very least amount for them.
yes,
But
yes.
yeah, maybe the reason that they are not aware of and the people are not demanding it, that is why it is not in demand. So one
Yes.
participant, Dr. Amarjit Singh, I think, is willing to ask any question. Are you? Dr. Amarjit Singh. Okay. Any more questions from the participant side? Let me see the chat box. Okay, next, I have one question in the chat box is, what are the alternative of CCA we are using nowadays?
The alternative,
I think you have
yes,
already answered it.
Yeah, it is CCB, copper chrome boron, and there is a myth that CCA is very toxic. It is not toxic because we are not consuming it. Otherwise, salt is also toxic, sugar is also toxic. If you are using unnecessarily anything, then it will be toxic. But you have to.
You have given one name that you have got patent in 2013.
Yes, we have developed ZBOC and ZBOC, which is zinc, boron, and copper.
What?
ZIBOC, all capital. It
Okay,
is,
okay. ZIBOC.
yes. You can have my publications also.
Okay, okay, okay.
From the
Thank
net.
you, sure,
And besides that, I would tell to the audience that neem oil is very, very effective. We are working on the fumigation of the neem oil also. So neem oil work as a fumigant as well as preservation. Whereas there is a concept, both the concepts are separate. Fumigants are there only for 2 to 3 months on the surface, whereas preservation is forever. That is what we assume. So, but when we have, fumigate the material with the neem oil, it has given a very long protection. Like in 2006, we have fumigated this mango wood and pine wood and the poplar wood. Still the samples are intact, although we have infested it with many beetles. So with the fumigation, the neem oil is very, very effective. If someone wants to, and it can be applied with the this thing with the finishes also, because it is oil bond. It is oil bond. It can be with that. So fine.
Amarjit, do you have any question or what? Do you have any question? Okay. So any more question from the participant side? I think, ma'am, there is no question. So maybe we can end this session here. But it was really very interactive, and they have the participants have asked many questions, I think, in your session. So With this, I would like to end here, but I would like to thank from my side. Actually, I would invite to my friend Dr. Aishwarya Maheshwari to give you a formal vote of thanks. But I would like to thank you here. You accepted my invitation. I know you were very busy, and you might be uh, 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 means busy in your routine work, and I know that you are going to retire in this month, so you would be having so many works to do. So I would with this I would like to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You accepted my invitation, and now I would invite Dr. Aishwarya Maheshwari to give a formal vote of thanks. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nasir. Thank you so much for inviting me and have the interaction with the participants. And besides that, I would like to say that I have my this mail also and the number also. If someone asks, you can always share. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure, ma'am. I will share it to all.
Thank you, Dr. Nasir. It was really pleasant and enlightening, and upgradation in our all knowledge with your really wonderful presentation, ma'am. I was really amazed to see such, I would say, beautiful products made up of wood that was, in the current slide which you are showing. So are these all available in FRI, ma'am? If
Yes,
I may
yes,
ask so?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
made
great.
by the participants only, the trainees.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Actually, I'm from WI only. I'm a product of Wildlife Institute of India. So we sometimes do get opportunity to interact with our colleagues in FRI as well. So, ma'am, with these words, on behalf of the organizing committee and my own behalf, it was really wonderful to listen to you while you were delivering your lecture. And Dr. Nasir has already mentioned that the interactions and the questions were actually represented by our participant, was showing that how much enthusiastically they were listening your talk. So we look forward and we wish you all the very best because I just came to know that you are getting superannuated this month only. So for your next upcoming things in your life, personal as well as professional. And with these words, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the very nice words. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. So all right, all the participants, our next presentation will start at 11:30 as per the schedule, and we will rejoin at maybe at 11:25 or so. See you then.